I stood by that. I stood by that. It would have killed me. I swear I stood by it. I did. I had to.
Dez says he would have made good on that threat to skip games, and the Cowboys are glad it didn't come down to that. We have a show packed with Cowboys content, but first, tonight's CTP Corporate Travel Planners Training Camp Trivia question, and it's all Dez all the time. The question tonight, where did Dez Bryant play his college ball? Was it Missouri, Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, the Sooners, or was it Tulsa? I'm going to have the answer for you a little later in the show. Now, first things first, the quarterback for America's team is injured. Well, not really. Tony Romo does have a sty on his left eye, though, that caused him to miss practice today. Not a serious injury. He'll be reevaluated tomorrow, and obviously, the Cowboys quarterback is expected to be just fine. Now, Romo's favorite target, Dez Bryant, he's been called many names by many people. Some of them good, some not so good. But what does Dez want to be called? A role model. Bryant has had his share of off-the-field issues. It's one reason why the new deal took so long to negotiate. But Dez says in addition to his new contract, life carries another giant responsibility. That's called fatherhood. Dez is the first one to admit he's made his share of mistakes, but he also admits he's way more aware of his behavior now than he was in his younger days. And the number one reason for that awareness is not football, no. Instead, it's his youngest son, Dez Jr.
He watch everything I do, and I pay close attention to that. If I'm nodding my head to some music, I watch him stare at me like constantly, like, what is Daddy doing? And then I watch him play the game whenever his friends come over, and he doing exactly what I was doing. You know, when I see stuff like that, I'll be like, you know, I have to watch myself. I have to make sure that I'm doing the right things. And when I see negative stuff come out about me that I know it's not legit, or some stuff people just want to dig up, that might bother me just a tad bit, but I make sure my boy don't see it.
In addition to his biological family, Dez spent a lot of his media session talking about his Cowboys family, a term that he has used time and time again with the media and in private. Now, during his 30-minute press conference, Dez touched on everything. He touched on his love for football, talked about the higher expectations for him on the field, and he even talked about his spending habits. Now, he says since signing that huge $70 million deal, he's bought, quote, nothing. That's also the word he used when describing the pressure that he feels going into this season.
There's no pressure. That deal don't make me. It don't make me. Like, I play this game because I love this game. I don't give a about none of that. It's not going to change the way I play. It's not going to change the way I act. I'm here. Like, thank you. I can go buy me a home and now I'm able to take care of my family. Yeah, I love that. But as far as me performing on the field, like, I take full pride in that.
Anytime I get to use that bleep sound effect in a soundbite, you know that's a good one. Hey, it's good to see Dez is feeling confident, but honestly, why wouldn't he be? I mean, this isn't football. No pads, no hitting, and speaking for myself, those are the two best parts of the game. Just don't tell that to those 6'5", 300-pound athletes. Don't let them know that I said it. But if you do tell on me, I guess you can spill the beans to Jason Witten. Number 82 is entering his 13th season, and even at the age of 33, the veteran says he's looking forward to tomorrow. Tomorrow is when the boys will trade in shorts and T-shirts for helmets and shoulder pads.
I think really it all starts tomorrow with the way you attack it when you go full pads. This is good to get your feet underneath you and kind of get the cobwebs out. And but you know, I just excited to kind of get this started, and nothing like being in training camp.
Hey, the first day of full pads is always fun, so I cannot wait to see what stories we have to bring you tomorrow night after Cowboys camp. Hey, over in Houston, the Texans didn't have their best season last year, but they do have the best player in the entire NFL. It's that guy, and he goes by the name of J.J. Watt. Today, Watt and his teammates reported for training camp, and their leader says this time is all about finding your place on the team.
Everybody has a role. Everybody on a team has a role. You need to know your role. You need to perform it well, and you need to go out there and do whatever you can to help the team win. Everybody's role is going to be different, but everybody's role is important. No role is more important than the other. It's just a different role. So I think that everybody understands that, and I think it's going to be huge for us moving forward.
Hey, the Texans kick off their preseason action on August 15th. They're going to take on a young but good, up-and-coming San Francisco 49ers football team. And did you see this? The newest college football rankings are out, and 2 Texas teams are in the top 5. TCU came in second, only behind Ohio State, the defending champions, and 2 spots below them are Baylor. The Baylor Bears and the TCU Horned Frogs were picked to finish first and second in the Big 12, and obviously the guys who voted for the USA Today coaches poll agree that both teams are set to have huge years on the gridiron. Hey, plenty of action on the baseball diamond tonight. We'll get you caught up with the Rangers and the Astros, and of course, we'll answer that CTP trivia question. All coming up next. Tonight's CTP Corporate Travel Planners trivia question: where did Des Bryant play his college football? Was it Missouri, Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, or Tulsa? Easy question if you ask me, and if you answered B, Oklahoma State, you got that one correct. Des was a standout wideout in the Big 12, especially in 08 when he hauled in 87 catches and scored 19 touchdowns. Amazing stats. Well, to baseball, and the 2 Texas teams put on an absolute show last night. Both the Astros and the Rangers won late-night walk-offs, so that means as we were getting ready for bed, they were celebrating like that. But as the old cliche goes, and every coach's favorite question, what have you done for me lately? Well, in the case of the Rangers, who got to play host to the Giants tonight, they've done quite a bit. Early on, Adrian Beltre with a 2-run shot that put Texas up in the first. Next inning, and Elvis Andrus sends another one into the stands. Rangers up 6-2 then. They go on to win this one 6-3. Now the Astros were also in action, and it looks like they're tied up fairly late in this one with the Diamondbacks 4-4 in the 8th inning. And that is all the time we have tonight for Nat Sports. For Chuck Nicotinic, our photographer Jack Green, and for everyone who works hard to put these shows on the air, I'm Jeff Jones. We'll see you at 9:30 tomorrow for another episode of Maximum Sports.